As mankind enjoys the benefits of modernization and globalization, Mother Nature unfortunately pays the price. Through our actions, both intentional and unintentional, the environment is in bad shape, and it has been for quite some time now.
The solution to climate change begins with every individual. That's one of the key messages that we are actually trying to get across to everybody.
Thus, the time for action is now.
I could talk about this forever, why it's important, but I don't think I need to anymore, because actually the effects of climate change and the risks of climate change are knocking on our door. It's affecting us where we live, it's affecting everything that we do. Whether you're interested in environment or not interested in the environment, you can see that the risks are very, very close to home. And this is the time where we don't just talk about it, we need to act.
Everybody has to contribute to combating climate change.
Climate change is a global problem that requires a creative and multifaceted approach. Support from government, media, corporate, community and education sectors is vital to achieve the objectives of the UNFCCC.
In 2007, British Council have launched a forum that brought together young representatives from across the Asia Pacific and all the way to East Asia, entitled the Asian Young Leaders Climate Forum, or AYLCF. The event provided the perfect setting for fellowship, networking, and more important, training for all the youths who are united in their desire to help save Mother Earth. Focusing on youth action is a main component of British Council climate strategy, because they believe that young people would have to live with the decision that today's world leaders make or not make. They are entitled to speak up and act on behalf of climate issues, especially since this region is a home to some of the most vulnerable communities such as Indonesia, Philippines, and the islands of the Pacific. In Bali Forum, these young leaders had a chance to come together and be with people who share the same fervent desire in contributing and developing climate solutions. Now, armed with more knowledge, the participant drew up strategies, actions, plans which were presented at the Bali COP, receiving plaudits, commitment of support from various sectors. Young leaders, as the 2007 AYLCF has proven, have the capacity to lead change and make things happen. Their voices and actions have the ability to influence other young people like them, and even the older generation and the decision makers for whom the future may seem too far away to warrant their attention. The Asian Young Leaders Climate Forum in Bogor and Bali saw the birth of a new form of engagement in climate change, namely, young people engaging in developing solutions, initiating projects, which is not only demonstrating their commitment to tackling climate change, but changing the way their whole communities behave and act in respect to climate change. Under the patronage of Nick Stern and supported by mentors from media, government, business, community, and education, the young leaders went to Bali with their clear message: We are here to show the world that Asia Pacific youth are not only able and willing to make changes, but as young leaders, we can influence others to change too. What you kept saying.
Throughout the region, we emerging leaders have already taken courageous first steps in our ways to become catalysts in developing solutions for climate change.
We are convinced that our strength is in our youth, our drive to build a better world, and our ability to come up with creative solutions to the challenges we all face.
But it was only the beginning.
The earlier program, it was looking at strategy and action plans. We've expected young leaders to move forward with projects, but they need the skills to do that. And the skills they need are project management and leadership, because without one or the other, they will not be as successful. They need to know how to set up, plan, develop, and monitor a good project, and they need to know how to implement the project and bring others on board.
Hence, in August 2008, the British Council held a Project Management and Leadership Training (PMLT) workshop in Gunung Gelis. The 5-day workshop provided capacity building in project design, and delivery was partially delivered by some of the young leaders themselves, taking advantage of their individual skills and experience and making project more sustainable. The regional ambition is to develop hundreds of young leaders leading projects across the region in countries as far apart as Australia and Japan.
Obviously, for climate change, I know climate change is a big issue. Now, only when everyone really is involved into solving this problem, then the puzzle can be resolved in the future. Now, I believe that there is a huge potential to young leaders today. And of course, those leaders in order to put up their efforts, and those efforts can only be demonstrated during network like this. And network like this can also demonstrate that these people can connect each other, and it's very important.
I am here because I think I have something to share. British Council needed somebody from the media to participate in the forum. And in the Philippines, environmental stories is kind of new. So this forum is very, very good for young media practitioners like me, so that when I go home, I can probably share something about this and how we could produce more stories and how we could angle stories on environment. So I'm glad I'm here. Actually, I'm blessed because they tapped me to join here. So I hope to learn some stuff about leadership and how to incorporate my background to the whole project.
Aceh has gone through the long conflict, almost 3-decade conflict. The people now they are poor, and they have no source of income. The cocoa has to plant the cocoa, you should plant the covering trees. You call that in local language gamal or Glirasidium sepium. I mean, this can contribute to mitigate the landslide, also the water absorbing area.
My project in Changing is basically about solid waste management, and there are 3 projects here. One is plastic garbage or plastic package recycled product, and second is compost, and third is greening project. So it's about planting. I've been working for Watson Action for about I guess 2.5 years now.
The project themselves take many forms. Some involve public awareness, some involve concrete action, some of the young leaders have already made change happen, such as a young government activist, Ibnu Najib, who has changed his ministry CSR strategy, taking on green concern, and subsequently applied and gained scholarship to study carbon management. With these projects already having impact and the young leader community continuing to grow, the Asian young leaders, with the support of British Council and their partners, are beginning to show that in this region, not all the news is bad.
Well, the main message is you're not on your own. There are lots of people out there who can help, who want to help, and are there to help. And so that should be the key thing to remember, because it is a challenge. Climate change is a challenge which we all face, and the challenges are huge.
So if you feel that you have something to contribute to tackling climate change, either supporting the young leaders or engaging in their activities, go to www.community.britishcouncil.org/AYLCF. The time for talking is over. The evidence points to a serious calamity facing us in the next 30 years, and there will be no going back when it's too late. The choice is start, act now, or face the consequences.
We have to be responsible for our future generation, and as the looks of it, it's not even that far off in the future. We are facing climate change, or we're facing those kind of crises right now. So there has got to be an immediate action, and we have to use whatever we have learned from before or from here, and from the networks that we have from all the different backgrounds of individuals that we know, and we have to learn from them, because we will be able to work with each other to come up with a solution, and that's something that we need to do right now.
We strongly believe our collective actions can have real impact, and with the leverage of government support, the battle against climate change can be won.